everyone, it's your girl Whitney Luna, and the topic of today is twin flames, soulmates, and karmics. How can you tell the difference? How do you know if you've met your twin flame? How do you know if you've met a karmic or a soulmate? I will tell you in this video, but I want to start off by saying that I know that with soulmates, a best friend could be a soulmate, a family member that you're really close to or, just really vibe with could be a soulmate. I'm not talking about platonic. I'm talking specifically about romantic soulmates, karmics in this video. So I just want to clarify that because I know some people will be like, oh, well, my best friend's my soulmate. That is true, but I'm talking about romantic relationships in this video. So twin flames, actually, you know what? Let me show you my invisible chart. So I put twin flames at the top, twin flames at the top, karmics in the middle, and then soulmates at the bottom. And it's not by level of importance. I specifically put soulmates at the top because this is a spiritual channel, and twin flames, in my opinion, are the ultimate spiritual match. I don't believe that they're the ultimate romantic match, but when it comes to spirituality, like what happens when you meet your twin flame is unmatched. The kundalini, the increased sensory, overload, the telepathy, the past life, seeing visions of past lives, feeling your twin flame next to you, even though they're not anywhere close to you, that is unmatchable in my opinion. So when it comes to twin flames, you will know, trust me. I had read about them. I'd watched videos on them years before I met mine, and it is unmatched. If anything, if there's one thing I can say to someone who's really questioning whether or not they met their twin flame, is I'll say this: it's the kundalini that happens. Your heart chakra shoots open, your sacral chakra shoots open, like your throat. You also have a throat chakra opening. Like it's indescribable, but it's also something that you need to experience for yourself to really truly know that you've met your twin flame. There's a lot of garbage out there when it comes to twin flames. Like they'll be like, oh, you guys might look alike, you'll have the same birthday, or your moms might have the same birthday. Like, throw all that out the window. It's all spiritual. It is a spiritual connection. So you will have a spiritual ascension, the spiritual ascension symptoms, the spiritual awakening symptoms. That is more important than having the same birthday as somebody. Okay, let me make that clear. Karmics are, the reason why I put them before, on top of soulmates is because I'd say that they are probably the most mistaken when it comes to the whole twin flame thing, because there's a lot of similarities when it comes to meeting a karmic and when it comes to meeting a twin flame. However, like I said, the twin flame, it's unmatched. Like when you meet the real twin flame, any karmic, any false twin that you've met before you'll be like, okay, that definitely wasn't my twin flame. So when it comes to karmics, there's usually a really big lesson in it. For me, in my past experiences, is I noticed that it was my karmic relationships that really taught me my own Reiki abilities, my own aura cleansing abilities, and my own ability to, my own empathic abilities to really read energy. Because the thing was that none of these people were bad people. They were wonderful people with good hearts, but there was just like an energetic imbalance there that I can't describe. I noticed that throughout the whole relationship, I just felt drained, even though, like I said, they were good people. So usually karmics push you back, whereas twin flames push you forward, right? Because the twin flame, the kundalini, the spiritual ascension. So when you meet the karmic, it pushes you back. For me, especially, I noticed that with my karmics, it was my sacral and my heart chakras that became more and more closed over time. So depending on how long you stay in those relationships, it can really greatly and negatively affect you spiritually, especially if you're spiritually sensitive. If you're not so spiritually sensitive, you'll notice that you'll start having bad luck. You'll start having issues with money. You might have issues with mental health, like you just don't feel like yourself anymore. You notice that your other relationships, like your friendships, are falling apart. Like it really does push you back in that way. So if you're saying like, oh, I don't notice like my chakras aren't blocked because that's not really your thing, or you're not really into that, you'll notice that the universe is telling you in other ways, like, no, this isn't the person for you. So yeah, just be warned about that. But again, it doesn't mean that they're bad people, and it doesn't mean that you don't love them or they don't love you. You know, a past karmic relationship, I love that person very much, and I could tell that they love me very much. But there was just like an energetic void, or like a darkness there that prevented us from being any more than that. Like, it was always something that was trying to push us apart in that whole relationship. But the good, like, there is some good there. Like, obviously there's beautiful moments within the karmic relationship, right? Like, there was in one karmic relationship I had, it taught me to be more comfortable in my feminine energy, because they had a very strong masculine energy, and I was like, oh, you know, I've never felt so comfortable in my own feminine energy. So there can be good things like that, you know, great moments. But I will say that it's usually these ones that are the hardest to walk away from. I would say that it's harder to walk away from a karmic than any other type of relationship, not only because of, you know, the great moments, but also because, like I said, it's draining your energy. You know, things usually take a turn for the worse throughout the relationship as it progresses. So it's hard to walk away because you feel like you lost a part of yourself, energetically, spiritually, maybe physically. Like, you don't feel like yourself by the end of it. So it's really hard to walk away because you're afraid to be alone. You know, you're full of this fear. Suddenly you took on their fears, they took on yours. Like, so it's really, really hard to walk away. I will put that out there. The last one, soulmates. Now, the reason why they're at the bottom is not because they're weak or they're not as important. No, you know, soulmate relationships can be very healing and can be very powerful. Actually, I would say they are very healing and very powerful. But unlike the karmics and the twin flames, you don't struggle with energy, because if you understand the twin flame journey, it's all about balance of energy, right? Like the runner chaser, it's not literal, it's all metaphysical. So when it comes to balancing the energy, you know, one moment they're chasing you, you're chasing them, you know, you're the one who's texting them all the time, and that stops because you're not really into it anymore, and then they're texting you. Like, you know, it's all about the balance of energy with twin flames. Whereas soulmates, you come together, you know, you love each other. There's no balance of energy. There's no balance of karma. You know, with twin flames, you really trigger each other to like a deep, deep level. And that's what causes sometimes the running. Soulmates, yeah, you'll trigger each other here and there. There might be some disagreements, but for the most part, it's not to that degree. It's not as explosive. It's not as, you know, as crazy as the karmic or the twin flame. It's love. And usually when I say soulmates is like, you kind of love the weirdness in each other. If you have like weird, like, I don't know, like you might, if you kind of are into like weird things, they'll love those weird things about you. If they have weird things about them, you'll love those weird things about them. You know, you just kind of get along and you love to be around each other. And it's just, you know, they might be into things that you're not into, but you'll go and you'll enjoy them just because you love them. Like, that's what I consider to be soulmate relationships. And they can be extremely healing. They can be beautiful. They can be, you know, personally, those are the ones that I prefer, is the soulmate. That's my personal preference, but to each his own. You know, maybe you'll prefer a twin flame, but hopefully you don't prefer a karmic, because yeah, you don't want a relationship that drains you or that, you know, causes you to move back. I believe you should always want to move forward in this life. So I hope I explained that well. Leave a question, leave a comment, leave a like if you have any. So that's it for this video. I hope it made sense. So I will love you and leave you. I love you guys so much. Take care.